Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back in with your pal, your friend, Mr. Knightson, and today we got Brian with me. What's up, Brian?
Hello.
And we just finished watching episode 6, The Book of Boba Fett. But before we get into this video, there's going to be light spoilers in the beginning and then full-on spoilers, because if you haven't watched this episode, what are you doing with your life right now?
Get on it.
So be sure to like the video, give me a subscription. I'd love to earn it. And leave a thought, a feeling, a question in the comments section below to help the channel grow. And also we can get into our discussion. So, episode 6. We knew we were going to see some heavy shit. And we weren't sure if at the end of the last one, if they were going to go back to Boba Fett and then do the build-up for this episode in episode 7, which is next week.
Yeah.
They did it all right here. And you want to talk about nostalgia? You thought you got nostalgia in the last video, in the last episode? Oh, boy.
Yeah, they went crazy with this one.
They did some amazing stuff, man. So, let's just briefly talk about it.
Yeah.
So, episode opens, and we have Marshall from the first episode of Season 2 of Mandalorian.
Oh, Cad Bane.
Kyle Vance, yep,
Yep.
he's back. And he kind of comes across the Pikes, who were trying to do a little spice deal right there in his territory. And it's very much like, hey, this is our territory. Scram.
Get your drugs out of here, kids.
Get your craps out of here.
I don't understand the Pikes at this point.
Not sure either. Do you
Because-
remember them in the Clone Wars at all?
No, I know of the Pikes. I just don't understand them because it's like they're supposed to be criminals, but they all seem to be pussies when they're confronted, and then they use bounty hunters and other people to fight their battles for them, and they just seem to be kind of weak. And I'm like,
This one, it opens right up with the Mandalorian going to a planet, and it wasn't the Force Moon of Endor. It wasn't Endor. It was some other planet. It had a lot of bamboo sticks everywhere.
it was very cool.
We don't know if this is the planet where Luke's Jedi Academy was later destroyed in the Disney Crapple trilogy that came out. We saw a lot of cool things. What was one of the first things that you saw that was just amazing?
You know, that whole like you were saying with that planet, they went to and then it ended up being like a whole kung fu thing going on with Luke and Grogu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were they in the episode? Spoiler
There are-
alert.
there-
We got Luke Skywalker training Grogu on this planet, and the first thing you see when Mando comes in is you see our buddy, our friend,
Luke Skywalker.
R2-D2.
R2-D2.
R2-D2 is there meeting the Mandalorian. Yeah, I immediately got a little bit misty when I saw R2, because when you see original Star Wars cast and characters, you get a little excited. The episode is really powerful, man. It shows Luke just training Grogu, and Grogu is just as cute and mischievous
Still really
as
cute.
yeah, and mischievous as always. He tries to force hold up a frog, and he's like, I'm gonna eat ya.
See, that was a cool scene because like Luke showed him that like once you learn the Force, you can take all the frogs.
You can take all the frogs, yeah.
You just
Mando's like chilling out on this little bench that was made for him. Wakes up, and we see
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano. I was not expecting Ahsoka Tano. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit! I didn't even expect to see her at
You
all.
didn't hear anything and nothing. Huh?
No,
Not
no,
one-
I
not
stayed
one rumor,
offline
nothing.
all day today to avoid any type of spoilers. I stayed offline all day today. Ahsoka Tano, man, and
Who's ever writing her? They're really writing her like they wrote her in the Clone Wars. You're getting it feels like Ahsoka Tano, like it did. in the
yes,
Clone
well,
Wars.
it's Dave Filoni, man.
Yeah.
And Dave Filoni did direct this episode and written alongside Jon Favreau. You see a lot of training montages with Luke and Grogu that you saw with Luke and Yoda from Empire.
I like Luke's gi. He looked like he was actually like a kung fu master. Dude, it looked close. It was hard to see because it was all black, but it was like a straight up gi.
Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know, but anyways.
I'm drunk.
Look, he's not drunk. He's had a couple beers. He's drunk off of what he just saw. He's like way too happy about it. But you get the whole training montage, just like in Empire when Yoda was training Luke running through the forest. Even did the flip.
Yep. The flip was cool.
Yep, the flip was really cool. And then Din Djarin and Ahsoka Tano approached them on the hill and kind of gives a little speak about attachment and things like that, and mentions that Grogu misses the Mandalorian a great deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, if he sees you, that's just going to confuse you. But what kind of, and you can answer this better for me, it doesn't oppose a Jedi to have friends or allies, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, or even later then, Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't know. Well, it's more about them committing to the way of being a Jedi, and the attachments before being a Jedi is a problem.
I don't know, man. All this attachment stuff, but I don't know why, Din Djarin and the Mandalorian couldn't just walk up and be like, "Yo, what's up, Luke? Grogu," knuckle bump, and hand him, "Hey, maybe this little thing, and I just wanted to check on you and see you later. Bye." That was it.
Yeah. No, he knows because he felt his presence.
He probably
right?
felt his presence, but
yeah.
He's just like, "Yo, he's right over there."
Yeah.
I just want to, I just my choice. I just want to go say hi to my little buddy. You know what I'm saying? But
I wonder if it made him upset not seeing him too.
yeah, I don't know about that whole thing. Ultimately, I'm digressing. So he goes back to Tatooine, meets up with Boba Fett.
Oh, real quick, back on that, Luke. Though, what's your feeling on the deep fakes?
The deep fakes in this one were pretty damn close. I mean,
real.
It was like 99.9% on it. I mean, like I said,
It looked real.
It looked really real. The voice, the facial expressions. It was Luke Skywalker 6 years after Return of the Jedi. There is no doubt. The deep fake on this, it did an amazing job.
I still fucking hate it, and I'll tell you why. Because
you don't like to hate on things.
No, But here's my problem. I like it. I like it. It looked good. It was great. All that stuff. It was really cool. But then you see the deep fakes, and it reminds you that it's a fucking lie because you know that Luke Skywalker is older now, and
Mark Hamill is a lot older.
It just
now,
reminds you that it's fake, and you're just like, fuck.
Well, I mean, look, I think you're nitpicking at it a little bit.
I just don't like it. I don't know.
But here, fun fact. So one of the X-Wing fighters in the last one was the stand-in for Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I heard that. That was cool.
Heard that too. Before that, the Mandalorian goes back and tries to, hook up with Boba Fett. They got Black Chrysanthemum there. They got the modders, the Power Ranger scooter dudes or whatever. I don't know. So they're like, "Yo, we need foot soldiers. We need some help." So of course, Mandalorian goes back to that one dude, the Marshal
Cobb Vanth.
Cad Bane, has a little discussion with him, and is trying to recruit like a small army, and Cad Bane kind of wants no part of it and says that we're square, and Mandalorian understood. Mandalorian takes off. And then, right there, he's just kind of chilling, watching his Naboo starfighter, which he did mention. Hey, is that a Naboo starfighter?
Oh,
that's cool, yeah.
That's sweet.
So, we get one of the next absolute biggest surprises, and my buddy Frank Metzger and I were really close as far as loving Star Wars and the lore, and we love the Clone Wars. And so far, this series just introduced the second animated to live action character, and the first glimpse out of the desert and even all that sand, you saw that hat.
The bad motherfucker of Star Wars.
Oh, dude. The character that was introduced in the Clone Wars, we saw his live action debut right now today in the Book of Boba Fett, episode 6. And as he got closer, you're like, no way. But me and Brian, we immediately...
That was my first thought.
Yeah. We immediately noticed the hat. We noticed the hat, and we knew, and just as it got closer. And then when you saw the two implants that he has in his cheek, we knew right away, Cad Bane. Cad Bane. And he shows up, and he just has his hat like that. And he says, listen. And his voice was perfect, by the way.
It was good.
It was damn near perfect. He was like, listen.
I kept looking at his teeth too. They looked real, man.
Dude, they were like. And he's like,
did a good job.
Whatever Boba Fett's paying you, we'll match it. I'm like, it's Cad Bane. I was like, oh my God. And then he looks up, and then you see those crazy glowing red eyes, and it's Cad Bane. I couldn't believe it. They brought back another Clone Wars character into Book of Boba Fett, a Mandalorian series. It was mind-blowingly shocking, man.
Cowboy up.
I couldn't believe it.
He's pretty badass.
And then his little deputy was like, like the marshal's like, Go back inside. Let Daddy handle this. Here's the thing, though. Marshall is not dead. He got him in the shoulder. He got him in the shoulder because if you noticed, people ran up and tended to him on the ground.
Cad Bane's not stupid. He had to make sure that he had somebody that's going to keep them from not doing what, from not attacking them.
Yeah.
And so he knew that the Marshal, Cobb Vanth, would actually
be more benefit alive than dead.
Yeah.
But his homeboy, dead.
Yeah.
Because he drew first, the homeboy, the deputy, drew first on Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Cad Bane was like, I'm going to take out the Marshal. I'm going to empty my freaking bullets into this homeboy and made him Swiss cheese. But that was one of the most powerful parts I think I saw from that. I mean, seeing Cad Bane was absolutely amazing.
It might have been one of the better, one of the best, I would say, live action introductions of like anybody. There's obviously Ahsoka was number one.
Ahsoka was number one.
But he's got to be number 2 on that list.
We saw Luke actually ignite the green and do a little dance with his lightsaber.
Yoda's lightsaber. Somehow that made it out of there.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So the last part of the deal, Luke takes out a little, like, kind of like a medieval, what do you call those? Like a little link, like a link
chainmail.
A chainmail. Yeah. Lays that over here. He's like, this is from your buddy. And he's like, oh, cool. And then he's like, hold on a minute. Then reaches over to the side and he pulls out Master Yoda's lightsaber. Now, I don't know how he found that lightsaber, but then again, lightsabers just seem to pop up in Disney, and we don't know how the fuck they got there. Pardon my French. But, all of a sudden you had Anakin's and then Luke Skywalker's lightsabers later on, that was lost on Bespin when he lost his hand. And then you have Yoda's lightsaber that showed up, and that got lost on Coruscant after his battle with Emperor Palpatine. And then in the comics, in the Vader series, I think in the second series, they found all the lightsabers and they were just throwing them in incinerators, and Yoda's was one of them, and just hucked it in. Now, I don't know if Yoda, after his exile on Dagobah, he constructed another one.
It's got to be the original. He left it in the Senate when he lost it when he was fighting the Emperor.
Left it in the Senate, but in the canon, in the comic books, they burnt it. They threw it in the incinerator.
Well, did they say it was his? Or...
You knew it was his.
Oh.
It was heavily implied it was his.
Okay.
But I don't know if he, people have spares.
Well, you live on a fucking planet with nothing to do.
You build a lightsaber. Yeah, so Disney sequel trilogy didn't explain or come to a head with any characters, plot, nothing throughout that movie. It was like, it wasn't even the beginning and middle of it was end. It was first, second, and last movie that came out.
It's weird that, like, these shows are, like, bringing in all these things that we like, right? It's weird that the sequel trilogy didn't bring in, like, any of that shit. Like, they didn't. Almost nothing.
They didn't. They had no plan. And even there was talks that Abrams had no plan when he did this movie. Like, even the lady that played Rey, and I forget her name because they're forgettable people and forgettable characters.
Ridley.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley. Thank you, Tori. She even came out and said, well, you might be a Kenobi, you might be this person, you might be that person. Nobody knew what was going on with the whole Disney sequel trilogy.
It's not very rewatchable. That's the problem.
No, and that's the thing. Even when I talk to my sequel trilogy defenders, and I say, so after watching The Mandalorian, both seasons of that, what's the rewatch factor with the sequel trilogy? And they're like, now here's the thing. That choice that Luke gave Baby Grogu, Baby Yoda, it was basically like because he doesn't feel if his heart's into what he's doing.
Yeah.
But in the last part of The Mandalorian season 2, he's like, he wants your permission. Obviously, he belongs to the Jedi Order, and because he was found on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Another fun thing that we saw where Baby Grogu was at the temple, and the 501st, Darth Vader's...
I want to finish that memory, man.
There's a lot we need to finish, and a lot that we've kind of digressed over, because I'm choking.
No, I hope they finish that memory. That's what I just said.
Well, not only that, but we see Ahsoka and Luke together.
Yeah.
We forgot that.
I know.
And that's a conversation I want to see happen.
And then she's talking about fucking Vader on top of everything else. All that shit was making me think, though, is if they're willing to do 2 episodes like that, back to back in the Book of Boba Fett, what the fuck do they got set up for the next season of The Mandalorian? They must have some crazy fucking story.
They got to have something going on because there's a lot of questions being raised right now. Obviously, a conversation with Luke and Ahsoka has to happen. I don't care if it's a whole episode of them just talking.
That I could have watched that the rest of the episode. They could have just stopped it right there.
They could have been like
had a conversation about Darth Vader.
Yeah, they could have been in the temple like with Grogu before like she gave him the present or whatever.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
And it's like, it's good to see that Anakin's offsprings are alive and doing well.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
cool,
what the hell, man?
I got a prediction for the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett?
No, the Mandalorian. I don't think they're gonna do it in this one, but I think that the armorer is Satine. The Emperor of Mandalore that got killed from Darth Maul, and then we're gonna see a Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost at some point.
What's gonna happen? We don't know. All I know is these last 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett are mind blowing, and this one was 10 times better than the last one.
I didn't expect it to be that good.
I didn't either. I didn't expect it to be that good. So we have one more week for the last episode. Unsure on how long the runtime is going to be on this one. If they're gonna, make it a longer one, because it's 7 episodes and not 8, but we will see. We got one more to go,
and then we got to wait for a while.
I mean, I personally, I want Grogu to stay with Luke. What do you think?
I think he'll probably stay with Luke.
He needs to stay with Luke.
Yeah.
Because Mandalorian can't be like going on his missions and carrying around a bebe.
But who knows? I mean, like, even with the sequel trilogy, he was nowhere to be found when they destroyed.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I think that choice right there is going to immediately tell us if they're going to do away with that sequel trilogy, because nobody watches it. Nobody really cares about it anymore.
I think it's fixable. I'm not on that boat. I think that they just need to make a better backstory to where it makes sense for why they did what they did.
The Disney sequel trilogy?
That's all right. They all have their Harvard degrees. I'm sure that they're very smart.
No, they don't.
They're very.
We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Make it your day. And as always, Cad Bane is the best.
I'll turn off the force.
Oh!